Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. Mike, tell him, is that you?
Yes, sir. We here. What's going on?
This is episode 263 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. This is where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. It's where you can get access to Take Talks, Mic Check mangas, and other forms of content. Bonus content over on Patreon. Producers, shout out to the Patreon producers: Christian, the archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, Fear, Glazed Yams, J. Lee Trey from Shogo High. Welcome back, brother. Get the Pro from Chaotic Culture, Explicitly, All for One Matt, Mazer, Altor, Monique Williams, Nachi, Semi Sensei, Frozen, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, T Money Fingers. Shout out to Get the Pro from Chaotic Culture podcast. If you aren't unfamiliar, make sure you go check out his podcast over Chaotic Culture 1 on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow and take a listen to his most recent episode. His most recent episode actually features us from Mic Check Waifu. We appreciate you for having us on, Kat. She was a blast. We had a good time. So make sure you guys take a listen to that whenever you get a chance. Mic Check Waifu is the anime podcast is brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT. We're gonna bring you a podcast every week as best as we possibly can, even if your boy Polow has the summer flu. I'm getting my ass kicked right now. So if you're watching the video version of this podcast and I look smaller, it's because I have my chair all the way leaned back and I'm chilling right now.
As you should be.
I'm chilling. But we're still gonna give you a great show today. A nice big show because we got a lot to talk about, even though a lot of shows were delayed. But before I get into that, Tell, how you feeling?
I just finished my finals this week. Hear me out. Polo knows I don't do B's. Right now, I have an 89.5 in this class until the final drops. Now, this class is actually it's crazy. It's really easy. The only reason I have an 89.5 is because during the power outage, one of my assignments came up late.
Bullshit.
So I was unable to have that assignment completed, and it had a 10% weight. So everything else I've gotten an A on, except for that one late assignment. And then
did they know you were in a hurricane? Hello?
Yeah. She knows. And it's funny because everything else that was late in that same week, you know, she let me finish and I got 100% on that stuff just because that's what it was. But that specific one, and it's crazy because she might go back and change it. If she changes it, then I'm already got an A. But I finished my final project, which is like a 25% weight. So I think regardless, as long as I get an A on this, I'm good. And I think I'm going to get 100% on it based on how my video presentations have been. So I'm hype about that. And then the other one was just a review of the class, which actually has a 10% weight again. So if I'm just reviewing the class, I need to at least get 90% on that.
Easy.
So I'm gonna have an A regardless as far as my brain is concerned. But it's been a good week, bro. How you feeling over there? Y'all know you got the flu. You feeling a little under the weather, or the weather under you?
Man, all of the above, but below. Anyway, it's beating my ass, man. It started last week. Last week I was perfectly fine, and out of nowhere I felt hot and cold. But then after that, I was good for the most part. And then out of nowhere, it just took me out and haven't been the same since. So I'm thinking I'm hoping it's not COVID. I haven't had it yet. Or maybe I have, I never knew it, but I'm I'm not feeling. I'm feeling like shit. I'm sure I sounded too for those listening at home, but
no, you sound good.
We still gonna rock with it. Anyway, yeah. Back to the anime. So this week has been an interesting week. As y'all know, for those of you who are listening, there was a lot of our summer anime delayed this week. Quite a few shows. So we had a lot less to watch this week than we would normally have. But instead, I still watched a bunch, if that makes sense. What's funny about that, and I've been meaning to talk about this. I meant to talk about this last week, but I forgot to. But something about this summer has been, before we get into our episodes of the week, but before I get into our episodes, I gotta say this. Something about this summer has made me want to keep watching anime. And this is what I mean by this. You know, when you're watching your summer shows, or for me in particular, when I'm watching my summer shows, I don't want to stop watching anime after each episode of something that I watch, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. It don't matter if it's a show I know that isn't that good. Like Why Nobody Remembers Me or something like that. I would watch that and I would be clamoring for more shows. And I haven't felt this way probably since maybe fall of 2022. I think. If when I look back at let me go back to English real quick. I just want to validate that because I think that's the year 2022 season fall. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't this year because that year had Eminence in Shadow, Chainsaw Man. So it definitely wasn't this year. This season kind of stunk, to be fair. But my point is one of these seasons where I just feel like I want to just keep watching stuff. Even if it was like a bad show, I want to keep watching stuff. So I will watch something and I'll go in my list and find something that I had in my anime in progress list and just finish it off. Or just keep watching. And that's how it's been all summer for me. Like I've been picking up a bunch of shows that I know I'm probably not going to talk about that I've just finished, which has been interesting. I'm going to talk about one of them today, but it's just been strange. But before that, what was your episode of the week this week?
Let me get the name right. What is it called? Makeine, Too Many Losing Heroines. Mm-hmm. And I was a little torn on that one, but I do think that, and it could be because I watched 3 episodes this week, so it's very fresh in my brain. But yeah.
For the uninitiated, that is the show that we are reviewing at the end of this anime season. So make sure you guys are watching that with us so you can join in on the review discussion at the end of the series or season, I should say. Man, that's a great pick. For me, I'm gonna go with Alya though. Alya, sometimes How's Her Feeling in Russian. The show is fantastic, man. It's probably my number one show this season that's not returning, obviously.
Oh yeah, I can see why.
It's so far until the social media come back, but it's fantastic. It's been fantastic, and I can't wait for the rest of these shows to come back. But yeah, those are 2 fantastic shows that I think neither one of us can go wrong. And even Parry Everything was really good this week too.
Yeah, and I mean, and even for the meathead, Ossan kind of had a little bit of intensity there too. But I just want to say this. The slice of life this week is going crazy, bro.
100%.
Not this week, but like just in general. The slice of life this season,
100%.
the ones that I feel like we're actually watching are good, like quality.
Yeah, they've been unbelievably good. Strangely, like it's rare that you find this amount of slice of life this good, right? Like in a row almost. Because even Days with My Stepsister is fantastic. Each episode I watched, the only one that's not doing it for me is T Money Fingers, our guy, but Pseudo Harem is just ain't it compared to the rest of these we've got, man. It's just been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
And I do want to say that the slice of life made me 100% just. I'm going to finish it, and I'm saying this because this is what the slice of life made me feel. I'm going to finish Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World but it's going to be an end of the season finish because I feel like the slice of life has just been so good that I do plan on adding more to the list now. Like it's been too much slice of life this season that's been like on point.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, dude, what is going on with why doesn't nobody remember me in this world? I don't understand what's happening.
It looks good though. It looks good. Like, hear me out, bro. It don't look bad. It just looks bad because you don't know what's going on. It's like it's not. I was watching it and I don't find it enjoyable in terms of like. I don't find it enjoyable in terms of like how the story is developing and even the like succubus scene in this, like the demon in this is whatever. It don't matter. And then like we talked about with the MC, I know he's supposed to be forgotten. I just don't know how this is gonna fill out come the latter part of this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how are they gonna fill in so many gaps? And is it going to be able to save itself, so to speak?
It's not even the fact that I don't think it's the gaps that's the problem per se. I think it's the problem.
It's not good. Just say that.
No, the problem is like, because you mentioned gaps, and the gaps are funny because I think it's because of the fact that they're trying to insinuate that he's going to fight all the other races, I guess. But the problem with this particular show is that it's so truncated, like that nothing, like you can't care about anything, and everything is being so rushed that it doesn't even feel like anything to root for. Like it's not anything. It's not like you're stupid or you're missing stuff because it's so intricate and deep and detailed. It's not, none of that. It's very simple. It's obviously a system that's causing a lot of these issues. And this system, funny enough, losing this week was probably the best part of the episode. But the rest of it doesn't make any sense. So nobody cares, I don't think.
And I was also going to say, just to be fair, it's like you said, it looks like he's going to go back and fight all the heroes or big bads of each race and everything, right? Mm-hmm. But the issue is he already did that, and apparently it turned out this way. So we're gonna run it back. And I'm not saying that can't make a compelling story, but so far it has not.
No, it's not. It's not going to be compelling whatsoever. I think I'm starting to miss what shows used to do back in the day, and what that is 20. I always say this, and I always regret saying this because I always don't believe it after a certain point in time. But shows with the 24 episodes, those are rare now, right? And I think sometimes it's necessary. Like, for instance, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is a show that has 24 episodes. It's going to have 24 episodes. And I don't know how, but it's a rom-com about cosplaying. And it's been a fun watch. And I'm excited about it being 24 episods.
What is that, 2.5?
Yeah, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. It's ecchi. It's a little ecchi. It's not as ecchi as you would think, but it's fun so far. I'm liking the comedy in it. I'm liking the characters so far. And I don't know how long this is going to last because it's going to be 24 episodes. It doesn't seem like it should be because of the simple fact is it doesn't have much to it. But, it is. And I'm excited about it being 24 episodes, even though it seems like, and it's on High Dive, by the way. And I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, I should say. I'm intrigued.
But, and hear me out. What can be a big thing for like the 24 episode anime that like we just stepped off of, but kind of could be a true thing why does nobody remember me in this world, is that sometimes it's okay to have a series where there is kind of like no direction for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that does give them, I guess, time to build up on characters. Like, I don't mean to say this like like this is what Clannad was, but Clannad did have a point where the storyline was just building up on those characters,
right?
And that's something that Slice of Life has the luxury of just being so good at, is that you can step away from the storyline and just say, let's build characters, and then hit people in the face with the story again. Because I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it eventually, but Oshinoko, those that we talked about that can kind of do that. But
what a valid point. Because you think about the way in which it did build up the character. Those character build-ups in Clannad was some of the most important pieces about the entire series, all the way up until the end of Afterstory. Like, you don't realize how important that smaller shit is until you get to the end. And that I find to be very, very special. But again, you gotta have likable characters in order to do that. Right. If you try to build up characters and none of them are likable, i.e., and nobody remember me in this world, then I don't know if it'll work.
I can tell you why nobody remembers them in that world.
Yeah.
Characters are trash. Bad.
They're real bad. None of them are believable in any way, especially in way they integrated him into their overall end of the world plan. That shit still baffles me. Still blows my goddamn mind. But I digress. Moving on. You know, one of the shows that I took the time to finish this, I guess you can call it this light summer season or this light summer week.
What was that?
I just went back to the Monogatari series. And I finished Omori Monogatari season 1. And I kind of fucked up my order again because I used to have the order like situated like in front of me before I would continue watching it. But I watched Omori Monogatari season 1 and then I finished season 2 too, which is an accident. I should have. After I finished the season 1 of it, I should have watched the 3 movies, and then went to season 2. But I fucked up and just went to season 2. So I got to go back and watch 3 movies. And then I think the other one was Kizu Monogatari, I think is the last one, or Kararu Monogatari, I think. One of those are the last one. And I will be caught up and then I can watch the one that's airing currently right now, which is the one you're watching right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so once I finish all of those, I think there's like a monster season or something like that I need to watch. But other than that, watching Omori Monogatari, sorry, the name is a tongue twister, especially for my throat right now. But
I'm sorry.
After watching that, the series is fucking great. It's so good. I'm so mad I fucked up the order a little bit, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much.
You talk about characters again.
Some of the best.
Some of the best, bro.
Ever, bro.
They layer it with like so many different well-placed design elements, which is really what makes it like crazy. Because yes, the characters are so good, and there's some parts of them where they're like, well, obviously they're overlapping into other parts of the story, and then they're building on those characters just even more. And then you layer it with like I said, to me, and I always say this, I think they do sound perfectly because they always have sound, or they have the sound where there's nowhere, and it's important that there's no sound there.
Yeah.
And obviously camera angles and whatnot, but.
And I say this every time I watch this, or every time I talk about it on this podcast, but when you're watching it, you feel like you missed so much. Like, and it's a hard series to watch. I'm not even going to pretend like it's not. Like, I don't give a fuck how fast of a reader you are. There's no amount of speed reading you could do to keep up with some of this dialogue sometimes. There's a couple of times where I had to rewind throughout the series, and it was, I think it was 13 episodes for season 1, and then like 3 40-minute episodes for season 2. But they go so fast with it sometimes that it's like, holy shit. And I'm a pretty good reader, and I'm like, yo, I'm getting blown the fuck back right now. I can't keep up, especially with me being sick at the same time. But
there's always something to miss in that show.
Yeah, it's always something to miss. But even if you do miss it, you're going to get it back. And what I mean by that is, don't try to only stop it and go back is if you miss a sentence. Don't try to read the screen because they do a lot of like screen dialogue things that pop up. Don't try to read none of that. Just follow it the best you can. It's like I'm basically reading a book at this point. But when I tell you, it is so good, man. It is so good. And this when everything comes together, you're like, oh shit, how phenomenal is that? And every time in each different series, it comes together to this big ass head point that changes everything.
And that's the best part of it. And you really can't spoil the show, but it is literally that the ending of each season feels like Polo would say, it feel like it respected your time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could totally spoil it. You could totally spoil it.
I mean, yeah.
But but it's, dude, and when people talk about watching this show, they say, did you watch it in the right order? Okay. And this is coming from somebody who's looked into this multiple times in several different ways. Don't listen to none of that. Just listening into it just watch it in which the show came out. If you watch it in which the show came out, then you will not be you won't be missing nothing. Everything could be there for you, and it'll be there for you in the perfect way possible. Because when it all comes to head, I think for the most part in the second season of Polow Monogatari, it comes to a head. Even though I think the movies are just the prequels, right, of our main character. So it's not. I'm just missing those pieces, I guess, which probably would have made that second season a lot more better, a lot better tied for me, because after watching season 1 of it and then going straight to season 2, it was like it wasn't as coherent because I probably missed those movies. So I'm gonna go back and check those out. But still, it's phenomenal, man. It's one of the best watches I've ever had, and it's a lot of them. I mean, a lot of the Monogatari series are smaller stories that have like 5-6 episodes. So even though there's like a total of like, I think like maybe 10 series, a lot of them are short and you can get through them in like one sitting.
And digestible.
And very, very digestible. But I feel like I've been with these characters for decades, man. Decades. And it's really, what's funny is that, you know, we talked about it in Windbreaker, how most of that show covers like a day. Monogatari covers like a summer in a spring, and like that's it. But it's 10 series, and it all just basically dances around the summer break and the springtime, and that's really it. It's great, man. It's a great series. It quickly rose to one of my favorite like series of all time.
I'm not surprised that I'm not surprised with how much you like the show, because every time we talk about it, I feel like you have nothing but good things to say about it.
Undeniable.
But I do feel like it's crazy that I recommended a show that you give this much praise to. I ain't saying it's crazy, but I'm like, yo, because I remember my initial watch of Monogatari, and I can't remember exactly which one I started with, but it wasn't the beginning, but I went back to the beginning because I went through Reddit when I first watched it and was like, what's the right order to watch it in? And people kept giving me all these orders. Well, this is the chronology. I'm like, all right, I'm going to just watch it from the way that it was created in. Mm-hmm. So worth it. 100% worth it. Man, I feel like we got to do a Monogatari episode one day.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to name it Polow Monogatari. No, for real. It's a great series, man. I had so much fun with it. I'm having so much fun with it. I think AniList is down right now because I can't search anything, but I've been trying to search like the movies and stuff to get them ready to watch, but AniList is really acting up right now. But anyway, what else you got for me, Tell?
Do you want to talk a little bit about Makeine? Because I don't want to spoil it necessarily, but I do have some thoughts I just want to say.
Sure.
Makeine, too many losing heroines.
I call it Makeine. I don't know how to say it.
Let's call it
too many losing heroines.
Too many losing heroines.
We'll just call it that.
To me, of all the slice of life anime that I've watched, this feels like one of the most slice of life anime. Like it feels like I'm watching students just like they're definitely being students, right? Like, and I know that slice of life is literally just supposed to be life and there's romance involved, etc. But this really does feel like watching, like when I'm, and then obviously it's partially might be because it's just beautiful to watch. It feels like this is just slice of life. I feel like although the romance is a very important like kind of like factor in it, that the way they build up to it, it doesn't like kind of beat you over the head with the romance. It feels like this is students. They're having a day. Yeah. And there's romance involved at some point. But this is just them kind of like going through their day while they're driving to the overall story. And the teachers are relatively interesting. Like they well, specifically she's the nurse. Love her. Yeah, bro. I'm really enjoying this, and I feel like, and I know it's only 3 episodes in, but I feel like if those 3 episodes are indicative of what this show is going to be when we get to the end and see what that holds for us, I feel like this show is going to be crazy. Like, I'm really enjoying it.
A very interesting concept. I don't think we talked about this last week, which is crazy that we just completely skipped over this. And I blame me for that. But I truly believe that this is going to be another surprise review that we do. Again, we picked this randomly because we almost forgot to pick it, and we chose, well, let's review it. And it is going to be probably another banger. So Too Many Losing Heroes is about, I got to get his name. His name is,
Kazuhiko.
Kazuhiko. It's about a student named Kazuhiko who's literally a background character, essentially, and who's unfortunately placed in a situation to where he sees one of his classmates, who he's not friends with at all, but sees one of his classmates get totally, I guess, pushed to the side by her childhood friend, and essentially it's her losing her childhood friend to her best friend, and
a homewrecker
in a game of romance, essentially. And our character sees that while he's reading some rom-com manga in a cafe, and just after seeing that, he kind of notices that the girl's freaking out, and she's about to drink her childhood's friend drink, or she drinks his drink while he's away. And he catches her doing it, and she basically comes over and sit with him, and they talk about it. And long story short, a weird kind of friendship ensues because he pays for her bill, and she's basically forced to owe him money for the money he spent on her, essentially. And it just becomes and it becomes a weird awkward friendship because she's confiding to him about her situation. And as the story goes on, he runs into another girl who runs into basically the same thing. And that's all I'm going to say, because I think going in the way that spoiling anymore will ruin kind of some of the fun of the show. Because I think the show where it's going is you can see it from a mile away. But you can see it from a mile away in a very unique way, if that makes sense, right? Like it's like, oh, I know where this is going to go, but how are we going to get there, essentially? So I'm having fun with it a lot, especially after this most recent episode, where we know where this is going to end up. But it's fun, man. And it's what, 81 pictures too, so it's, of course, it's gorgeous. Has an 80% on AniList already. Like it's a surprise show. Like it's very surprising how good this is.
Now, what are we gonna take the spoiler talk? Because I don't want to talk about the stuff we're gonna take there.
I don't know. Let's figure that out, huh?
I would. I want to talk about Love is Indivisible by Twins.
Okay, let's do that, please. Let's do that.
Cause that's a little messy.
Yeah, Lionel.
a little messy.
A little Lionel messy indeed it is.
Oh man, that's good. Let me see. Dahlia and Bloom is okay, but I don't think there's much to talk about yet.
Not yet. Well, see, it sucks because it wasn't much out.
I mean, we might not even need to go to it. I mean, we might just have to tell people, hey, spoiler, we're gonna talk about this one at the end of the podcast. Maybe we don't have much to spoiler talk this week.
Well, did you watch No Longer Allowed in Another World?
I did watch No Longer Allowed in Another World. You want to do that one? Yeah.
What did you think about that? Before we get into spoilers.
Oh, okay. So while it is I think it's an interesting concept, right? Mm-hmm. I can't exactly remember what you said about it, other than like, a couple of key things that is better than the Uncle Grandpa thing or the Uncle from Another World. Yeah. But I'm actually like, and I might have missed it, but I'm like, I'm interested in like is what his power, what his skill is, because he started off super weak, and it's like, is his skill like a reversible thing where he can just kill anybody that tries to kill him, or whatever?
Are you caught up?
I am caught up to the latest episode. I mean, okay. I believe I am.
Okay, I don't think he has a skill.
Yeah, because I remember in the first one they said he didn't have one.
Yeah. Or
they said that they didn't show one. He just had super low stats. But It's like, what is bro doing? like, and it's what I find interesting is how things do work out though. Because coffin homie, bro.
And they don't work out by him. For one, what did you think about Trust Coon's backstory?
Great.
Fantastic.
And hear me out. I'm taking that lore everywhere we go. Every isekai. That's or every if you get hit by Truck Coon, that's the backstory. That's the reason.
Yep. It makes so much sense. It's such a good backstory for a prominent character in isekai anime. That's why I love it the most. But no, I don't think you have any powers. But what you said resonated with me because it's all how it works out. And it's not working out by him trying for it to work out. It's just him. It's just working out by him being him. Like he's not a fake, I guess you could, a fake anime character. He's unapologetically who he is. And that's why I think I like him about it the most, and how comedic it is. It's so funny to me the way shit happens. That is more enjoyable than I've come to realize as far as this particular anime goes. Like it's fun.
And his resolve, the way his resolve is tied into things.
It's funny, yeah.
Because he does have this very specific resolve to to like go after that character. So it's like, oh well, now I have a reason to live until I have a reason to die. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's a good point. It's a great series so far. Sorry to bring that up out of nowhere. I didn't want to forget about it this week. I do think it was a very good piece, but I do think we should spoil Indivisible by Twins.
Maybe Elusive Samurai. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, hell yeah. We can spoil that too, and as well as what you thinking about Days with My Stepsister? Is that spoilable? Or Oshinoko maybe?
Oshinoko is definitely spoilable. Yeah. Oshinoko, I think, had a tremendous episode this week.
Let's do that. So those are what we're going to bring to the spoiler half of the show.
Put that in. Go.
All right. So now that that's out of the way, what did you have?
Okay. So what else I want to bring here? All right, Ossan Newbie Adventure, right?
Okay.
Now hear me out. I think I know this isn't like the most story driven or advanced anime, bro. I enjoy this one though.
Okay. All right. So before you go into enjoying it though, how did you feel about the backstory in its like just base form, just base storm backstory first?
I mean, so it gives me very much, and I'm not gonna say it's necessarily. I get it, you know what I mean? Like I get it, but I feel like there's parts of it that don't kind of match up or work out together. But that's not to say that it's like not like the backstory doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense. It makes sense in terms of like it's whatever. It's just a story. They just tried to fill it in. Is what it feels like. Like maybe they went back after writing it and just did that to fill in some empty space or something. And the backstory is not like
that. Kind of makes sense.
It's not great. But they made it like kind of like correlate because we know he started at 30. But it's like when did you start working there? Did you start working there at 30 and then decide 6 months in, like, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna do this?
Yeah. So
he kind of looked like he did not age from the time of him reaching adulthood to that.
That's not even the major problem, Tell. What was the first 2 episodes of this show?
Oh, him being that too. Yeah,
him whining about not thinking he's strong enough, or him being scared that he's not strong enough, right?
And literally his training arc, his culmination of becoming who he is because he obliterated something.
He killed a fucking dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
So crazy. That part blew him. I'm like, so you mean to tell? What did I say? I said it in the Discord because I was angry. I was angry watching it because while I'm watching it and I'm loving the story, I'm like, this story is fucking fire. This backstory in particular, right? I was enjoying the hell out of it. I'm like, yo, this is really fucking cool. Until I thought about it, like, wait a minute. How are you complaining?
Yeah.
About being too weak? Here it is, right here. Vash also went off but in this too, but I said, wait a damn minute. He knew he had this power and he even killed the dragon. He was still whining, thinking he wasn't strong enough. Math ain't math. It wasn't like what? Like you knew you had this innate power within you that just took a while to wake up. It wakes up when you're 30. Okay. Then after what's the beautiful maid name? What's her name?
The 17-year-old
Renette. No.
Renette.
Renette, when she's telling him at first, no, you're not strong enough to do it. And then when he gets out of hospital from, being out for a week or whatever it was, she says, you are ready for this. You can be with us. You can train with us. And we can take the final boss together or whatever. Like, how does he not think that's enough?
Bro, you're S tier now.
You're literally S tier. So there's that lapse of judgment that had me like, okay, even though the story itself was absolutely told fire, it was just a major plot hole that they just completely fucking missed with the whole beginning of it. Like the beginning of it should have never happened the way it did.
And to be fair, they tried to make it make sense with, if you remember, he said, oh, I just remembered something, and it was like,
oh, I forgot he did say that. Yeah, you're right.
Why did it take you that long to remember you blew up a dragon?
I just remember something.
When everybody who's below A tier got to run away from dragons, you just remember that you blew one up, my guy?
Oh yeah, very strange.
You just be out here blowing up dragons for fun. Just
it was very, very, very awkward situation, to be honest.
Yeah, so I was there too, but I was only thinking about that in the moment when I was watching. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Like, what did bro? You are strong, and you know you're strong.
Now he does. Hopefully, if it continues on this way. But
yeah, now he should be a whole. He should be SS plus
straight up. And from here, like literally, it's been great from here. Like the show itself. Another one of the shows where I just want to keep watching more anime after I watch it. Like, I want to watch something else now. Come on, I want to watch something else. So it's kind of a rough week to be a short week for anime when I wanted to watch so much. But it did let me catch up on the Monogatari. So that's also nice. All right,
now,
so go ahead.
I was gonna say I Parry Everything kind of took its place though. And I say that because I Parry Everything, he basically is Ossan now, where Ossan was doing all the whining and saying, and it's like they're doing the backstory with he has this unbreakable sword and all these things, and it's like, bro, we watched you train to parry a mile radius of swords. Your circumference is over a mile, and you are parrying all those swords there. And this goblin throws four trees at you, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't parry them all.
Yeah, no, it's not even just that. It's just him talking like he's just nothing. Which again,
and the lack of knowledge. Like, do you think this is a regular goblin?
Him having a lack of knowledge is understandable, but the girl that he's with, she knew what this was.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it like, why is she not stating the fact to the guild dude? Like, no, it was actually a king goblin or whatever they call it, emperor goblin or some shit.
Yeah,
it was actually an emperor goblin, and he destroyed it with these. Like, this part I'm not understanding too much. I feel like they're trying so hard to, I don't know, hide who he is.
Right.
Keep him in a box or whatever the fuck the case may be. But it's starting to fail a little bit, even though I like the character so much. I like the main character a lot. Noor, like, I like him so much.
Same.
I'm rooting for him, but it's starting to, I don't know. It's not hitting the same. All right, Tell. Let's get to know my chick waifu. This is part of the podcast where one of us rolls a random number generator, the other reads a question associated with that number. It's my turn to read the question. Tell turn to roll the random number generator. So let's get to know us a little bit better. Tell.
59.
The number is 59. Have you ever imported anime merchandise or media from another country? Yeah, I have. I bought a few Clannad figurines that I still have over in this box. That came from, what site is that? I forget what the site was. Yeah, I forgot what the site was, but yeah, I got a few figurines from there, from this website. It's pretty dope.
The first anime sword I bought was shipped from Japan.
The Bleach one?
Yep. But remember, the first one was like, the first one was like a regular one, and then the second one I got from TrueSource.com, and it was like a reverse version of it.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then I have this Zenitsu figurine.
Dope. All right, let's take this quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna spoil the aforementioned shows that we mentioned earlier in our podcast. We'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 263 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Welcome to the spoiler half of the show where we discuss 3 shows and spoil them in its entirety. And go into like full deep discussion on these particular shows. Starting off with season 2 of Oshi no Ko, episode 4. I wish I remember the name of the episode. Oh, yeah, it is. Emotional acting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. What a great, for one, I want to say, what a great episode. Great name. Great name for an episode. Great episode in it. Like in its entirety. But starting off, man, I gotta say that I'm gonna go straight into this part. But the depiction of the PTSD that happened with Aqua was so well done that it was unnerving.
Oh yeah.
It was unnerving, absolutely unnerving watching him go through that traumatic experience again. Like, even though he has the mind of an adult man, the fact that the adolescent part of him witnessing, quote unquote, his mother die was crazy. It was so crazy. And it still obviously would be traumatic.
It's crazy because it's almost like a double-sided kind of PTSD, right? Because not only is that his mom, but that was the idol of the dying patient he had, the last real patient he had as a doctor. You know what I mean? And that's the last one we saw because I think he lived like 6 months after that, right? Yeah. But still, regardless of the principle, is that the last patient we saw him with was that one. So it's almost like this double-sided PTSD where he's like, I have more than one reason to like fight for this. And it's intense. Like the voice that was speaking to him, you know, the older version of him. Yeah. It actually was like, I'm not saying it was scary, but it was scary when you mix in the visuals and the tone of the voice and actually thinking about what we were seeing, what we should be feeling, even what he's feeling. That was, the scenes alone were something else, something entirely different, bro.
It was fucking art. It was
100%.
As hyperbolic as that sound, that shit was art. It was gorgeous yet frustrating, yet sad and scary and dark, and it was just insane. And it was all Kana's fault, or is the name? Yeah, Kana's fault for even talking about that. But she has no idea. She wouldn't have a fucking clue. And shout out to Akane for doing the math and figuring it all out with her detective brain. That shit was fire, by the way. That scene. Oh God, it was so well done the way she was just putting it all together. Oh, I'm like, damn, she about to figure this shit out. And when she does, she hugs him. She don't say anything about it. Don't say anything about knowing the actual deal. The episode was brilliant, man. It was brilliant, minus the fact that in the scene, High Dive had subtitles on top of subtitles, which pissed me off so much. Like, you gotta do better than that, High Dive. But it was special. It was a special episode for sure.
Yeah, bro. That episode, and even like, and let's even say like the beginning of it, we got kind of the confirmation that we wanted. They gave us that with the original writer getting that revelation of understanding, okay, this can work out. Yeah. Which was dope. Maybe I don't know what's best, but I do know how I want my characters to be portrayed. That was interesting. But like I said, this anime is a murder mystery, bro. It's like it all comes back to that. And I literally was saying it at the beginning of the episode, and I was talking to my wife. I'm like, babe, yeah, this anime looks like a play. They keep talking about play this, play that, show this, show that. No, this is a murder mystery. And when they spin the block back to that, it's going to be crazy. And when they did that, I'm telling you, it was like I just brought it up and it literally spun like that. And man, it was impactful, bro. It was very impactful.
Very much so.
And the director.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and his original director, kind of like parent figure esque person. Yeah. it's good to see him come back as well in terms of like, helping and being around.
I don't know what it is about him that I'm concerned about, but I am.
I thought the same thing. Something about him just don't feel right.
Yeah.
Especially because he said, well, it's not like I'm his parent. And I get you're not. You ain't got to say that, though. Something about it just felt shady.
What the part that felt shady to me is that the end of the episode, hyper focused on his desktop, and on his desktop was Hoshino.
Mm-hmm.
And Hoshino is the last name of Aqua and Ruby. So I'm like, why do you have a folder named Hoshino on your computer? Are you the one that killed his mother?
Or he could be stockpiling information from him. Because I was thinking the same thing. But he could just be holding on to a bunch of extra information that he's been saving for him. But that also, to me, I'm like, why wouldn't he have already told him, like, hey, look, I got some stuff for you. You need to come check this out. Because he knows more or less, like, oh, wait. He don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's awkward. That's why it's awkward, Tell. That's why I'm super confused. When they zoomed in on that screen and I looked at that desktop and the first thing that my eye caught, I didn't see, it was a shit ton of folders on his desktop. It was looking like my desktop. It said Hoshino on it. I'm like, are you the super fan?
Man.
Not necessarily the super fan, but the one who hired. Or I don't know, man. He could be the one that did it. He's in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much,
bro.
There's so much that could be.
And I was literally thinking, you know how like a lot of murder mysteries, especially, they show the villain in the first episode or immediately, right? Yeah. That's like one of the first people you come in contact with. But I don't want to say that this show's writing is predictable, because I feel like it's not necessarily like blatant, upfront, predictable writing. So I don't know, bro. I don't want to say that's the case, but if it is, hoodies. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because he does. He fits the description. He fits what it feels like, and his personality type feels like someone who would have been that kind of way, in a sense. Like he's just very subdued.
Yep. So, gut check. He could be the killer. But we still need to know who the fuck his father, Aqua's father is.
Right.
Who created the hit itself.
Well, the killer... Yeah.
You know? Because if it's if Aqua's father caused this hit or whatever, right? If that's how, I could be misremembering it completely, and then nobody could have called it hit. It could have been just a deranged fan. So it totally. That's like, if I can't have you, nobody will type shit.
Right.
But I don't remember, so forgive me for getting that wrong. I'm sure if you remember, let us know. But
because I thought the killer was already dead, the supposed killer. You know what I mean? So right. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's already the case. But what I do think is still the thing is who his dad is that's what essentially what we still need to figure out.
I see what you're saying. I don't know if that will be his dad then. So maybe.
But it don't mean he's not connected, because there could be very much so another reason why.
Yeah. Very, very true. Because why would you have that folder there?
I'm still trying to figure out.
Time out. I just remember something, and remember why that folder would be there. Oshino used to work there, or Aqua used to work there. He used to write with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that could just literally be his folder that he had. So maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm overzealous with this thought.
Maybe you're not, though, because I don't trust it still.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a reason that they show us there's something in that folder, even if it's like a diversion that's trying to make us suspect it's him.
Yeah, I think it is a diversion, bro. Because he used to work there all the time, typing up shit. Like what? I don't know.
He does know her personally.
Yeah,
he knew her personally.
That's true. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough one. You know what I'm inevitably not ready for, or not as excited for.
What's that?
Ruby's side. Like I'm in this awkward. Like if what I think is about to happen happens, right? It's about to stop at us at this PTSD moment, and then move over to Ruby and talk about her situation in this band shit thing. I'm hoping they don't, though. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I would be glad to be wrong. I would love that. But this is not the time. I think they need to continue on with this play for this half, and then continue on Ruby for the rest. But
here's exactly what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yep.
They're gonna give us 4 episodes with Aqua, 4 episodes with Ruby.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
The last 4 is you, bro. Go ahead and do your thing. You can have everybody together, or the last 5 or whatever.
And if it switched to Ruby, we're exactly right. I know that's what it's gonna be, and I don't want it to be that right now. Like, now is not the time, because this has been such a fantastic arc so far. Like, borderline perfect. So I'm gonna be so sad. 81% on Annie list. Deservedly so.
They're gonna subvert the expectations a bit. Not ours, though. We expecting it.
True. And then it's I wonder what Akane is gonna do with this knowledge that she has now too.
She's gonna sit on it.
I
don't think she's gonna use it for nothing bad.
I'm the only one in this entire series that want Akane to win.
Why? Why are you the only one?
Because everybody loves Kana. Everybody loves Kana. Like, she's
the redhead. She aight.
Yes, exactly. That's how I feel.
I don't like her personality, if we being for real.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real with you too. Me either. I think she's cute. But
I'm rocking with old blue hair.
Yeah, she got it. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm glad. Because everybody talks about Kana like she's all over everywhere.
No, she mad irritating.
I agree.
She's cocky. Yep. And it's like, I ain't got a problem with you being cocky, but if you gonna be that cocky, at least come get in my face and make me know you like me or something. I don't know. Something, bro.
It's that Tsundere shit.
Yeah, she acting like she got the knowledge but ain't using it. What is that for then? Why have it if you're not gonna apply it?
Yeah, it's the worst. And she's the one that caused our guys PTSD.
Facts, because that's literally what I was about to say. Though. I was gonna say, why would you come up to somebody and say, "What would you do if your mother passed or died?" I was like, you don't know this man's history to even say nothing like that,
which is crazy to say.
Because you done triggered. This man ain't gonna never talk to you again. You better give it 3 weeks at minimum before you even look in his direction.
Yeah, that was a wild thing to say. That was a wild thing to say. All right, move on.
Elusive Samurai.
Let's do it.
This anime, bro. Overall, it's kind of funny, but when it gets serious, I like how they do. I like kind of how they break it down, and I like our MC a lot. I'm more like the people around him. I think the people around him are obviously good too. But
I don't really like MC that much.
His thrill kind of is what it is. I like that when it comes down to it, because of the thrill of the moment, he's all in. Like all in.
Yeah. For me, he's too much of I hate whining characters. I do hate whiners. So when it comes to like his complaining and screaming, is just what I can't rock with. Outside of that, everybody around him I think is so fire. Even the evil people, right? Like this bug guy they just introduced. The evil people are so fire. They're so fire because I hate them. I hate their fucking guts. And they do such a great job of making you hate them even though you just meet them. Like, I fucking hate this guy so much, so much.
But it makes sense.
Yeah. And like, I even like it when they put in little pieces of history of who they quote unquote really are. It's so fire. I love it. This show's great.
And one of my favorite parts, and I know this stood out to me. I'm not sure how much this stood out to you, but it really stood out to me. Where he is they're describing the bug-eyed dude being a governor, and now he's going to start using his power to do this and press the people of the village and whatnot. And then, or this is what Yorishiki is saying, and then they go in and he's literally talking to the other big ear mouse looking dude, you know, talking to him through his eyes. That was creepy. That was crazy, but literally discussing that very same plan. And right. It's enjoyable. And then it was a bit of a shock for Suwa Yorishiki to just throw him into the battle. Like,
yeah,
if he recognized him off the bat, it would have been all bad. But it was like, you had to know that he wasn't immediately recognizable.
Right. Which, again, was a Suwa god or something like that. Mm-hmm. His character is so great. Like, all the characters are great to me personally, outside the main character. His gimmick, his elusiveness, I don't think is going to, for me personally, impress me for that much longer, because it's, I don't know, I got a feeling this is going to be this kind of samey, right? It's going to be about him running until he inevitably turns the tide.
And gets the final hit.
Yeah, get the final hit. And that's going to get old, but that part of Elusive Samurai is the part I don't care about. I don't care about that part. What I care about is the artistic liberties they take with depicting all the fucked up shit and people and just world. I love the way it looks, man. Even the small little references that they implement, like the whole Dragon Ball Z reference I was in this week and everything. It was like, all of it is just so unique and different from like a shonen of this ilk that I'm so much more invested. And I'm so much more invested probably too because it's mature. Yeah. In a sense, right? And it's
because it's still childlike, but it gets definitely very quickly.
Yes. And it's 12 episodes deep. Like, it is not going to overstay its welcome, even though I just talked about loving shows being longer. I don't think this is one that needs it. And I think this is going to be fun to see how it all plays out. It's obviously going to get more though, right? Like, it's going to be season 2s and et cetera. But I'm looking forward to more, even though I don't care about the main character like at all, like zilch, zero.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna get more because the series is still releasing, the manga is still releasing.
Oh yeah, we're in for a treat then. We're in for a treat. I can't wait to see just other characters and how they come, like other, not characters per se, but antagonists come in and how they, what makes them unique, right? Like, we got the uncle being conniving, and then we got this bug-eyed dude being one of the best archers in the land. Like, what's the best samurai or polearm user or whatever the fuck?
Oh yeah, maybe polearm. I don't say the best samurai. We already know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real big bad,
the in-game boss. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it, man. And
I love that how conniving he is.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, he an actual demon too, huh?
Disgusting person. But you think about it, it's like, I think this is, I don't think it's like, is it based off of historical like events?
I think the time frame is accurate. I'm not sure about the events.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the characters might be like the antagonist might be. Which I would believe that's partially why which we can look that up. Maybe we'll bring that to the next episode. Mm-hmm. But let's see.
Yeah, because I'm interested. I'm interested to see if, like, because the way they made it when they introduced the show in episode 1, they made it seem like the historical people that they were referring to were real. And if they just they probably could have just did a really great job of selling it, but it had me invested like if it was a real deal.
Yeah. So the MC is actually a A real historical figure.
Okay. Interesting.
But, so it's considered a historical fiction. So the characters are historical figures.
Interesting. Wow, I love that. I love that even more.
And they kind of got me with that one. So yeah, I'm with it.
Dope, man. Dope. I love it. Elusive Samurai is pretty great. It's pretty great. All right. What's the last one?
The last one, but not least one, Love is Indivisible by Twins.
Yes. Okay. The Mess. Episode 3 of Love is Indivisible by Twins, or in our case, the first 3. This one caused a lot of the conversation in the forums. Talk about this one a lot. What are you thinking?
It ain't messy enough.
You think it ain't messy enough?
I need a cat fight. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I don't see the mess quite yet. I see where it's going to go, but I need the mess to actually hit the fan.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. What?
It ain't
see the mess quite yet.
I know where the mess is gonna go, but it ain't actually took off yet. I think the last episode, it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna set things straight, and I feel like, yeah, that's where the mess is gonna come in. But I'm not sold on that's the mess is actually here yet. I feel like the mess is still coming.
Nah, the mess has been here the moment she decided to break up with him. That's when it got messy. And the reason why I said it is because when she broke up with him, she didn't realize what she was actually doing there.
Right. No,
because he was literally in love with her.
Right.
And I love the way this episode 3 broke down it. Finally getting told from his point in a way that hasn't been done in the first 2.
Mm-hmm. Because
the first 2 has been frustrating because we've only been seeing it from these 2 girls' points. And the 2 girl points, what I would say about this show that it does a great job of depicting is that they really showed their thought process, and their thought process is believable with the way they feel, right? Like, okay, so the older sister, which is the short hair sister, the older sister is the sports girly gal, right? The younger sister is the book nerd, the movie nerd, just like June. Mm-hmm. So she feels like they belong together. Even like, they all 3 of them that the 2 sisters liked him. So with the one that's most like him, she think that they should be together. But before they get together and completely ruin my chances of even having a shot, because they're probably going to get married because they belong together so well together, I'm gonna give this a go. So she confesses first, and when she confesses first, they're in a relationship, and their relationship is spectacular. Offer her to just break up with him. She breaks up with him at the worst, not even just the worst time, but it's just it wasn't it, and that sucked. That fucking sucked. And then she's like, hey, but do me a favor. Ask my sister out. She always loved you. She always liked you. Just ask her out. Don't forget to ask her out. Ask her out. Ask her out. Ask her out. Blah, 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 blah. And he does it. So he forces his way to love the little sister, even though he used to like her. Like, this story is fucking fantastic. And that's why it's so messy. Because you're forcing your younger sister, who you think is perfect for him, even though, yes, at one point he used to like her. Don't know more because he's in love with you. It's a damn mess. And now you force it. Now because you forced them two to be together, she's about to get her heart broken because he still loves you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just made everything worse for all of y'all.
Everybody.
It's awful. It's an awful, messy mess.
Okay, yeah. Now I do want to say this: the first episode to me was beautifully done. Mm-hmm. I love the perspectives on that. Like, and I wanted to say that after you said the perspective thing. I love the perspectives, and I love how it was told with the 2 separate perspectives. Mm-hmm. The episode 3 though, Yo, I was salty. And I'm gonna tell you what made me salty was because he said they gave that perspective, his perspective, where he said, of course you want to break up with me for that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, he says, of course. Like, it's almost like he said it like he just knew he wasn't good enough. Like, he knew that you didn't really want to be with him for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that's exactly how I felt, but it's more about like how the tone of it was, and then the posture. I'm like, bro, to me, that felt like a real person said that. It felt as if like, not this isn't an anime character who shrugged that off and said, of course. It was like, that looked like a person with emotion. I was like, yo, this is well done right now.
Yeah.
The conversation just feels, when it gets deep, it's like crazy on why is it this deep for this kind of anime. But I feel like it is going to definitely be messy, because it's not, I was thinking initially quintessential quintuplets, it's not going to be that. This is going to be,
quintessential isn't really messy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking initially that it was going to be like that.
Okay.
But this is definitely going to be messy, and especially after, you know, you break it down like the way you did. Yes, obviously it's already got the mess out there, but I feel like it's going to be messy. And I'm gonna just tell you, kind of an early gut check, I feel like Rumi is going to be salty because he's not going to leave Naori. He's doing what she told him to do.
No. I think the opposite.
You think the opposite?
Yeah.
You think he's going to leave Naori immediately and go to Rumi?
100%. But the problem with that is now she's going to be feeling so terrible about putting her sister through that. That she's not going to accept it or some shit like that, right? Like, it's going to be like, it's now since this happened, I kind of don't want to be with you because it's going to fuck up Naori, and that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like this weird, I can't neither one of us should be with you kind of situation, which is going to be rough for everybody involved, because that means nobody can be happy, even though it's Rumi's fault in the first place.
So you think we're gonna get 9, or let's say 7 to 8 more episodes, and I'm trying to figure out this situation separately?
No. Yes, because okay, this is where I'm going with this. So next episode is going to be that, right? It's going to be Rumi, Naori is going to get left. Rumi's going to be like, listen, I don't think we should do this because it's not right for either one of us to be with you if you know what I'm saying, in this particular situation, because both of us will be hurt.
Right.
So after that happens, then it's going to be that episode where he then tries to live a normal life, and both of them, and then somebody comes along, and it's going to be a third person, I think. I do, yeah. I think it's going to be a third person that comes in. I mean, fourth person technically, right? But that kind of makes it, that kind of flipped this on his head. I don't know that to be a fact, but I feel like that's
I was like, how much you read?
I just take that to be one of the things that would happen in a series like this, and then we figure out that who he really loves in that particular exploration, right, of his feelings. So I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot left. What you think?
I think that ultimately, I hate to say it, but wow, I think you're right. I think that he should not choose either. I think that's what he should do. I think he should not choose either. And I think that ultimately, even in the end, because the manga is still releasing, I would even say at the end, he shouldn't choose either one, especially after being put in this sticky situation.
Yeah, I think the fucked up part about this is Rumi forcing him to date her sister. Like, that's the worst part about it. He's like, listen, like, you're right, I did like her, but I end up loving you. Like, and now Nayori knows this, right? Like,
But then they said that she was the first one that he liked. She was his first true love.
Yeah, when they were younger.
So it's like the whole time you were what he wanted, and he rolled with the other option because that's what he had options with. Ugh. Now that you said, "Hey, I see you, and I wanna go out with you," he's ready. He's like, "Oh man, what? You ain't said nothing but a word."
Right.
Yes, I'm here. So of course, he flips the switch and he's like, "Yeah, I want to date you," and he's heartbroken. So I mean, that to me is what creates a lot of mess. Because yes, he's heartbroken, and heartbrokenly so. You force him, and you force him only because of how much he loves you to date your sister. And then what makes it messy to me, this is the mess that I think is hilarious. The families. They hanging out as a family together, basically. Yep. I wish June would join our family.
Yeah. True.
This show is funny, bro. It's mad funny, man.
It's good, man. It's not that highly rated though, which is sad. 64%. They definitely hating. I don't know, man. What was good this episode too was when he was at his best friend's house and he had all them porn, them hentai movies and shit just laying around.
Right. Posters on the wall.
And how it's crazy how even his friend has a crush on Nayori, and very, very, very interesting concept. There's quite a few supporting characters that we haven't seen yet. Like Risu, I think. Yeah. We haven't seen her yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening, man. But great series so far. Great slice of life show so far. We're gonna talk more next week. Next week is gonna be a bigger episode. We had a shorter week this week. I'm gonna say next week though. What is next week? Midterms?
No.
We got 2 weeks.
I think we got 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep. So next week, I think we should find a show to review next week for the mid-season.
Okay.
And go from there. So yeah, next week we'll find a show to review, and then I'm gonna put out the form this week. We'll go from there. All right, but I'm at Polow Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Might Check Waifu on Twitter and at Might Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mike check.
Come on, bro. You play too much.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu.